gonna ask for a salted mocha.
Disgusting. That's so gross.
He stirs it like this. That's why. That's fucking why.
Ew. What happened? You get that checked out, dude. I don't think he's okay.
Okay, so Mike has been because this is from like I guess my espresso hand when I tamp and push away, and so it just has stained my pinky finger.
Wow.
So he's been calling it stinky pinky for I don't know how long,
Years now.
and then the next person that's the most vocal about it is my girlfriend Jordan. So both of them give it to me. They'll be like, "How's your pinky doing?"
Yeah.
It looks like it's roughing it out, but good to know it's not.
It looks like your nail's gonna fall off.
It looks like that pinky.
Yeah.
No, it looks like that pinky died and came back to life.
Yeah.
If anything, it's my strongest digit.
Walking Blind is hosted by overly emotional dudes who overthink and overanalyze everything. Nothing the hosts say should be taken as medical advice or opinion. They're not professionals. They're about to make that very clear.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Walking Blind Podcast, the podcast where we like to normalize checking in on your homies. This is episode 101. I'm Mike. That is also Mike. And today we have a very awesome guest. She is a clinical therapist, and she actually wears many hats. So we'll get into that. But it's our friend Jasmin Nahomi.
Hello.
Yeah. Also, not wearing a hat right now, but you know.
Nah, but I do wear hats. I do like my hats. What's up, everybody? I'm excited to be here. Thank you guys so much.
So did you notice that Mike almost forgot the name of this podcast while he was
I
doing the
did
intro?
notice.
He was like, welcome to...
You didn't have to expose him like that, but I did notice.
I'm like a crazy person, and like Jordan, she's gotten to see me. You know, she's on tour with me. She got to see my weirdness.
Yep.
But yesterday, not yesterday, 2 days ago at the show, we played. It's called Rebirthday Fest 2.
Okay.
I kept saying Rebirth Fest.
Yeah.
Oh.
So before the show, I was going over mentally saying, "What's up?" Because I wanted to make my intro when we went on stage to be, "What's up, everyone? Welcome to Rebirth Bash 2." I don't even know what I said now, but I kept repeating that. So when I said "What's up" right now, it totally fucked me.
Oh.
At the show, what came out was, "What's up, guys? I know it's early, but move with us."
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I almost messed up our intro. We right away realized that you guys, like, our world is very small, and that you guys kind of have a connection. And
Yes, one of my good friends is related
It's my
to
little...
this Mike
little
on my
cousin.
left. Yes, that's so funny. Small world doesn't actually surprise me, but it cracks me up when that happens. So.
When you asked me, like, you're like, you look familiar. I thought you were about to say, like, do you play drums in Mike's band? Because Martin and I, all the time, people just confuse me for him. So every time they see us together, they think that I'm part of No Bragging Rights.
Okay.
And now we just roll with it.
Yeah.
Like, I just make plans for Martin and tell him, like, yeah, I told these dudes that you would show up. So you should be there.
You're like, yeah, that's me. That's me. I'm him.
So,
That's funny.
yeah. But yeah, small world. Very small world.
No kidding.
But yeah, so I guess give us, like I said, I kind of want to go into the, at least, I know you're a clinical therapist, so I'd like to know about that, and that you also podcast as well.
Yes, I do. I haven't been doing it as long as you guys have, but I do. So therapist-wise, I've been doing therapy for 3-ish years now. LCSW coming soon. Woo woo. But pre-licensed for now.
Mm-hmm.
Right now I work at a group home, so it's an all-boys group home, 6 to 16. So I do therapy with them. I will say because of, you know, their kiddos and the things they're going through, it's not like the type of therapy that I was doing before when I was working with adults. It's more like, you know, this kid took my shit, so now I'm gonna go break a window. So it's kind of just a lot of, you know, crisis stuff for kids, and I like it a lot. But that's what I'm doing right now as a therapist and as a podcaster. Souly Human is my podcast. I love my podcast. It's my baby. So I'm still new, I'm still learning, but it's also on like mental health and spirituality stuff, because that's truly what I like to talk about and, you know, connect with other people over. So that's what I do.
Oh, and actually how I was introduced to you was through Daphne, and it was because of your podcast.
Yes. Yeah, because she was like, so we also graduated from the same program, from the same social work program. And I've known Daphne for a long time. She was like, you know, we have another former student that has a podcast that also talks about mental health. And I was like, what? Let's go. You know, I'm like, what the heck? So that's how we got connected. And so now I'm just really, I think it's cool that I'm here, because it's just funny how the universe does things. So. Yeah.
That was like I think it was like almost like a year ago, probably, right?
I think longer.
Oh, shoot.
I think longer. Time is crazy like that. But yeah, I think a little longer.
It's nuts.
Yeah, I feel like right around the time you guys were introduced, he mentioned bringing you on the show.
Okay.
And then I don't know why it never happened until now. Probably because we're really bad at it.
I was about to say, because we're very,
I mean, you know, but I think it's, I don't know, everything happens for a reason. Even the smallest things happen with intention behind them. So I'm not sure either, but here we are. So, yeah.
I like that.
I'm believing that. Yeah, coincidences are too, I don't know.
They don't exist. I genuinely don't believe in coincidences. There's no way. Some of the stuff that happens, I'm like,
There's some wild coincidences that happen from time to time, but
how do you guys feel about dreams? Because I'm just gonna say this. So I think just for myself, because I don't know, I have wild ass dreams.
I thought you were going to say something completely different when you said I'm
so racist in my dreams.
Wild ass dreams.
No. My dreams are like fucking crazy. Like to the point when I hear people like talk about them and like, oh, I think it means this. I don't even want to hear that. I'm like,
do you remember all your dreams? All of them?
A lot of them. Really? I mean, I can't go back and recite them now, but like, yeah, if I like, yeah, I remember last night's dream. I like, for the most part, I remember my dreams, like, and I remember them pretty well.
Do you have any that are like recurring? I've had a recurring dream since I was a child. That happens like once every like year or two.
That's worth exploring.
Yeah.
Clinically.
Yeah, I feel like if I tell it, I may be...
No pressure. That's too much. You know? It's a lot.
No, I can tell it. I've actually told it before. I don't know if I've told it on the show.
I think we told, because I've told about, remember mine, that I want to turn into a movie.
Yeah. I actually have 2 dreams that I did remember that I wrote down to write scripts off of. Not the recurring one, but yeah.
I don't have a lot of dreams.
Really?
I don't, unless I'm like took a sleep aid or like a Theraflu or something. I don't, or a melatonin. I don't dream a lot, and when I do, it is really vivid. But I don't dream as regularly as what I hear.
Man, I dream.
I wish I could, to be honest.
It's not that great.
What was your dream last night? I'm kind of curious.
Last night it had to do with driving. My this whole weekend, whole freaking weekend. So okay, so I wouldn't say this is a reoccurring dream. In the sense of like this, like beat for beat, basically the same thing happens. But I definitely have dreams a lot where like I'm in a car and I don't have control of it. And it's almost like I'm like in a bumper car, and like I'm always about to hit something and I stop right before I hit it. And so this like weekend, I was having dreams like that. Like I was having dreams.
No, actually, you were just driving the van.
Yeah, it was just a real It was a real memory of the van I was driving this weekend. So yeah, that's what my dream was last night. And the other, I think 2 nights in a row, I had dreams about driving.
And like hitting right before you're about to hit something.
Yeah, I don't know. So dreams look so stupid. So like I'm driving.
The vulnerability.
I'm driving right now. Because I know how crazy it's gonna sound when I say it. But like in my dream, I'm like driving and I'm like around people sometimes, or it's almost like I'm in my body as a car. Is the only way I can describe it.
Okay, so your body's moving as if it were a car.
Yeah.
You are the car.
But like I'm almost like I am the car, kind of.
That's actually an explanation.
It's a really good explanation.
Yeah.
I could see it.
Okay. Sick.
Are you stressed out?
When I was driving, I probably was.
Yeah, our man is it's sketchy to say the least.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but did you start having those car dreams after the big NBR accident, or did you have them before that?
No.
you-
Are you also a therapist?
No,
All right, good.
but I've bullshit my way through enough conversations that I can
You kind of.
I can ask nice questions.
Yeah, that's like
I'm a salesman. We'll say that.
Got it. Okay.
he's a good asker of questions.
Yeah.
All right.
Asker.
Ask her.
No, I've had I feel like I've had this type of like car like out of control dream, like probably since I was driving or maybe before I started driving. So I mean I've had this for a long time, like that kind of thing.
Were you scared to get your license as a kid?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
That's what I was thinking.
Dude, I was so
2 for 2.
I was so indifferent about driving.
Okay. Sounds like that indifference has continued into your adulthood. You're like, do I even want to be driving at this point?
Yeah.
I mean,
What are even wheels?
What are even wheels? So that's kind of a reoccurring dream then. You've had it for a long time.
yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess.
I've had the falling dream a lot, where you're like falling, and then you wake up.
Do you do the
Yes.
jump?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I do.
Dude, I do. Do you guys ever trip in your dream and that's your fall?
Yes.
Okay.
I haven't had that one.
Yeah.
I always wake up from that one. I feel like I wake up and I'm like, that was stupid.
What was that? That was dumb.
Or like the fight dreams and you can't even punch somebody.
Oh yeah, those are like those have become funny to me now.
Yeah.
Because I'm like I almost become like aware
Yeah.
when it's gonna happen. Like when I thought I was like, oh, this is not gonna do anything.
You're like,
Pillow. Tink.
Do you believe in like if you realize you're in a dream you can control it?
I've done it.
Scenario?
I've done it. Yeah, I've done it too.
Is that lucid dreaming?
lucid dreaming?
I've done it
yeah.
a few times too. But
So cool. Have you? I can remember a few times that I realized I'm in control, and I'm like, I'm controlling it how I want it to go. I can feel myself waking up sometimes, and I'm like, focus, stay asleep, because I can feel it coming, almost like the awakeness,
Because it's almost like you're not supposed to be able to do that.
Yeah. So I'm like, focus. Yeah. So what is your reoccurring dream?
so my reoccurring dream is I'm stuck in one of those like grass labyrinth maze things.
Okay.
Like, the ones that you can go into at like a pumpkin patch or something like
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
that. I'm like in the maze and it's always just like first person perspective, and I'm always either lost in the maze or I end up like at a dead end. And then like there are times when just the whole dream is just I'm just in the maze, like trying to figure my way out. And then at some point in time there's always like a random wolf in the maze. I can't tell if it's chasing me or I can't tell if it's like trying to attack me, but it's always just like right there with me.
Maybe it's trying to help you. Right.
It's like one of my
Right.
favorite animals, so
That's what I was thinking. Is it really?
Yeah. And then like I always just wake up, and then there's never like an explanation for it.
Do you feel like you're scared in it, or do you feel like, oh, this is kind of cool, I'm in a maze? Because I like mazes.
Sometimes I'm freaked out because I'm like I can't find where to go. I'm like, oh shit, where am I supposed to go? Other times I'm just like casually wandering through the maze.
And you've had that dream since you were a kid?
Yeah. Since I was like
Wow.
probably like 5 or 6.
I genuinely 5 or 6. Dang.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think I was more scared of it when I was younger than I
Right.
am now.
I genuinely believe that dreams have like a purpose and a meaning. To how to interpret them, I don't really know, but I genuinely believe that they have some type of meaning. So to have that since being 5 or 6,
Yeah.
I would wonder.
But now I almost wonder when I have it now, is it because I still remember that dream and I just happen to have it? Or is it like
That's possible.
something's happening in your life, dude?
Right,
you know?
right. Well, you said like once a year.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
It happens pretty
routinely,
regularly.
which is interesting. Yeah.
Not as cool as being a car, but you know.
I someday hope to dream as you guys do.
Dude. My lucid dream, it always, so as soon as I realize, I'm like, oh, I'm in a dream. This is a dream. But the first thing I always try to do is I try to fly.
Same. I've had lucid dreams where I'm flying.
Yeah.
Actually, and I remember like trying to like jump harder so I can fly higher and like feeling like I'm waking up and I'm slowly falling. And then I'm like, focus. And it was really cool. That was actually recently, maybe a few months ago. So it's funny that you say that.
So when you guys fly in dreams, do you like Superman fly, or do you just like hover and levitate, or do you like flap? Yeah. Or do you like
I'm kind of like flapping for my life, to be honest. It's
Like,
kind of like
oh no.
it's kind of like Wendy and Peter Pan flying, like
Yeah.
you know.
I think for me, I feel like I'm like maybe like Superman flying. 'Cause I don't.
Or are you just doing the roller skate thing?
I think I'm just doing the roller skate thing. I think I'm just like levitating basically.
You fly like standing straight
Yeah.
up with one leg behind
That's
you.
freaking
Just
cool.
but slow. It's like not cool. It's just
Creed's in the background.
Yeah.
I wish. I have to work for the times that I'm flying. Like I can feel it taking a physical energy when I'm sleeping.
mine is like I don't know, maybe I'm remembering it wrong when I dream, but I don't feel like I exert. I just know that I can, and I just start to like float up basically.
That's it.
Dope. I wish.
Nice.
Yeah, coolest one was I was in I think like Gotham, or like what looked like a Gotham, like a really cool like Chicago type. And so whatever my dream was, I remember being kind of like scary, or like there's something going on in it, like. But then it's one of those just quick moments where I was like, oh, this is a dream. I can get out of here, and like I started like to like float away, and I was going over. Yeah.
You're like, I'm done.
It's like I can escape.
I'm out.
They're just making fun of me as I fly away. And
There's a bank robbery going down. You just fly by like
You're
this.
like, I'm out of here.
Some
Yeah.
lady's getting robbed.
I'm gonna head out.
But yeah, it's cool. I remember I got like pretty high. I got to see like a lot of like the city. It was like almost past the buildings.
Mhm.
It's cool.
Sick.
Sounds
It's like,
cool.
Batman's not doing shit.
Yeah. That sounds cool.
But yeah, all this to say is I hope they don't mean anything, because I've had some really just like messed up dreams.
So do you feel like if you could fly in real life, would you choose flying as like your superpower, or would you choose something else?
Dude, I would choose something else. And I literally talked about this today. Today at work, I talked about this. And I would not use the superpower for good, as far as like, in the sense, sorry.
Full out criminal.
Yeah, no. In the sense of like, I'm not going to be benefiting mankind by
Right.
any means. This would be purely for me. And my life, I don't think would be that different.
Invisibility.
No. No, you pervert.
You're sick, Michael.
No,
I'm trying to think of
dude,
what it would be.
teleportation.
Dude, same.
Oh, really?
But I would
Same.
just use it for like food and like and like just stuff like, do I want to go see this band play? Okay, yeah, but I still have to like probably pay. You know what I mean?
I mean, not
guess,
if you teleport into the crowd.
true. Never
True.
mind. That changes
Yeah.
a lot. You know what I mean?
Or teleport into like a bank vault.
Yeah, but it's like for me, it'd be
Yeah,
the most.
true.
It'd be the most like
The most
selfish
mundane
thing.
of things. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna go get sushi in Japan.
Is that so you could avoid being a car?
And just
Yeah.
You just want to teleport so you don't have to drive anywhere?
Teleportation would be cool.
That would be cool.
I feel like teleportation would be the most ideal, right? Because if you fly, people are going to see you flying, and somebody's going to try and shoot you out of the sky.
But would it be like the boys where like your clothes leave?
I had not thought about it that far, but now that you say that, I can
Right.
never choose flying, and flying has been my go-to, and that's a very good point.
Like you would have to have flying
And
with like invisibility
Yeah.
in order to fly around this world.
What about like camouflage?
Like
Oh.
that? Like literal camo?
No, no. What's that?
Why is there a hunter in the sky?
No,
Look
what's
at that
that?
right there.
What's that one character where she can I forgot her name. She can.
Fantastic Four, the Invisible.
No. She was invisible. No. Raven.
Mm.
Where
Okay.
she can, you can transform into other. There's another name for that though. It's not camouflage. It's
A warg?
Thank you. Morph. I'll take it.
Metamorphosis.
No, I think it starts with a T.
Transmorgification, something like that.
No.
Yes.
It'll come to me, or it won't.
We're gonna forget about this in about 5 minutes.
Probably, probably. Yeah, but that would be a good one.
Yeah, I think teleportation would be the way to go. I would love to fly,
Yeah, flying would be dope.
but I feel like you're just gonna get that guy that's like, "What is that? I could shoot that out of the sky right there."
You're 100% right.
Flying over Texas.
That would be
We
the
avoid
first
Texas.
mistake. That would be the first mistake. Don't do that.
Dude, I've never thought of that.
Neither did
Well, think
I.
about like if you get one of these superpowers, you're obviously gonna be like some weird anomaly, right?
Yeah.
And people don't like weird things, so they're gonna come after you. Right? It's the whole idea
And
of
it's
like
the whole
X-Men.
movie.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. I think teleportation would be dope.
Nice.
Just for food.
Mostly just for sushi in Japan.
Yeah.
Everyone's
Ne-
just getting heart attacks. When
Mike just shows makes it a spectacle every time he arrives.
Pizza in New York.
Woo.
Ooh, that sounds bomb. Let's just chill. I'm gonna get hungry.
It's okay, we go out to eat after this, so we'll get food.
Okay. I'm gonna need to eat, so.
Also, we should probably mention that everybody here is snotty because today has been the wildest,
Dude.
windiest day.
Yeah.
It's been crazy. It's been crazy windy today.
My whole backyard, everything is just thrown against the back fence.
Yeah, I definitely brought a whole tissue box. Wanted to be prepared. Wasn't gonna cancel, but yeah, I've been post-nasal drip all day, so
Sick.
is what it is. SoCal, you never know what you're getting. It was raining yesterday,
It was.
right? Was
Yeah.
that yesterday? No, the day before that. Whatever. It was hot the day before that. We got the whole thing. the whole spiel.
These Cali winters, you guys.
Yeah,
You guys don't understand on the East Coast. You guys
The
have no
cold
idea.
is starting to bite, 68.
Fuck.
It's getting chilly outside. We're in hoodies.
I
We're all in hoodies.
Oh, yeah.
have a Indiana jacket.
It's not even cold outside.
No bill for it.
It's cool.
It's cool.
I was in Missouri for a little bit, and it was like fall. It wasn't even winter really yet. And it was cold. And I was like, I'm not built for this.
Like in the 60s and stuff.
It was, I want to say in the 50s. Well, I was just
Oh,
with my friend in Arizona like 3 weeks ago, and it was like 45 at nighttime.
Yeah.
And it was cold, and we were staying in like a little trailer thing in the middle of nowhere in Arizona, and it was super cool, but the showers were like outside, and I was like, I'm not showering, so I'm just gonna wait 48 hours, potentially 72. But it was cold, and then when we came back here, I was like, this is nothing. A week later I adjust, and it was cold.
What's crazy about that is like we're fucking up wearing hoodies in this weather, because then when it actually gets colder, we're never going to be warm enough, right? But I saw this video of this dude, it was like chopping wood in Chicago, and he's like, winter started, don't put on your coat yet. He's like, because that same winter coat that you're wearing right now, when it drops to like -20, your coat ain't going to do shit. But if you acclimate to the weather, and then when it gets super cold, you put that jacket on, your body's going to get warm. But if you wear that jacket right now, and then it gets 40 degrees colder than this, your jacket's not going to do shit because it's used to keeping you warm at this temperature. And I was like, I never thought of that.
That makes a lot of sense. I don't want to acclimate. I want to have a hoodie on me at all times, and then a jacket on top of the hoodie. But that would probably save a lot of discomfort. That's a good point. I had not thought of that.
I think I gotta go windbreaker.
Weird.
It it does more than the hoodie. It
Because it's light, so that way when it actually is cold and I wear a sweater, it'll help.
It's also your uniform.
Dude, I've actually. So
How many windbreakers do you own?
right now? I don't know. Like the normal amount people own.
You own like
I
6,
think
huh?
I don't think I
Six.
have a windbreaker.
I like 10.
You own 10?
I think so.
Windbreaker
I mean,
fan?
Yeah, I only wear like 2 of them. Yeah. Jordan saw me in a not my black one. And she's like, "Oh, is this new?"
The blue one? The blue one?
The gray and black.
Hmm.
The gray bottom, black top.
I
was
it's
about
crazy.
to say that's a friend right there.
So cute.
He said, "Was it that one or is it the other one or the other one?"
We were in the green room at the show, and Jordan said something like, "He's mine." I was like, "I was here first, Jordan. I was here for so much longer than you."
He's like, "I was here first for so long." That was funny.
Yeah.
Dude, I feel like we're like all over.
We went so
So
far
good.
off the track where we were at.
Before I forget, I want to wish just bring here. Happy birthday, Madison. My niece Madison just turned 8 years old. Madison Rose.
Happy
She's
birthday.
8, dude.
Woo!
Yeah. And so
We're getting so old.
yeah, so that's where I was actually. While I was a little late, we were celebrating her, and I like made sure I gave her my gift first. So I could be like, "Oh yeah, I gotta go."
Happy birthday, Madison.
Yeah, 8.
How cute.
Crazy.
But
All right,
Oh.
so let's rewind.
let's rewind. Let's keep going random. Mental health check. Something we do on the show.
Let's do it.
I was like, we're forgetting something. Mental health check is where we like to check in weekly, see where we're at mentally. That way we keep track if some things are going well, maybe what are we doing that's helping us, or what's going on that's been good. And if we're not doing so great, maybe what's going on or what are we neglecting to do that is keeping us in a funk. So let's go first.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
Things have been good. This weekend was busy. We were kind of all over the place. Desmadre show, San Diego, for the Ghost Inside show. And then Sunday kind of got to chill a little bit. Stayed at Dallas's house Saturday night, so came back Sunday. But other than that, I feel like all my vehicles are now going to end up in the shop. Because so I didn't even mention it on last week's episode, but when we were on our way to shoot our music video, I got rear-ended turning left on the freeway. It's just I think she was texting.
Ooh.
And I was just stopped at the light, and it wasn't bad. Like, it didn't, airbags didn't deploy, nothing like that. But she just enough that, the bumpers cracked.
Oh.
And, of course, because it's, a European car, that repair is, way more expensive.
Damn.
So, luckily, it's not on me. Her insurance is covering it. But still, it's a hassle to, drop your car off and get a rental and all this stuff. And the lady from the rental place was like, "We don't have any luxury cars that we can." I was like, "I don't give a shit what you give me. You can give me a Chevy Spark or one of those tiny little things. I don't care, as long as I have something to drive in."
Yeah.
And then the Feels on Wheels, something busted in the front passenger wheel while Mike was driving. And then apparently the brake lines went out, so he was.
Oh shit.
Dude,
Yeah, he was a car, and he was.
Ooh.
I haven't been that moment right there. And what made it kind of worse was Jordan noticed, because I was like, fuck, because nothing was happening. So then I
Shit.
Yeah.
also, it doesn't help.
It doesn't help that the steering is
Well, the steering's crazy, but also our van has a lot of quirks.
Yeah.
One of them is the seat doesn't adjust,
Oh no.
and so I'm already basically doing this.
Hyperextended.
And so podcast can't see my foot, but I had to ballerina straight toe right to the ground, make sure it all the way down would stop, and it stopped. So
Oh wow.
And of course, it's a Sunday, so there's no real auto shops or anything open that you could just pull in somewhere and have them check it out.
Right.
So, he had to have it towed back over here. Which, did you get AAA? Did you?
yeah, so yeah, it's the whole thing. We talked to a really, really cool AAA rep person, and basically they're sign up tomorrow, first thing tomorrow, because they're closed. They don't take new memberships on the weekend. And so she's like, keep your receipt and then sign up tomorrow and then have them, then there's a reimbursement form. So the girl already sent us the reimbursement form.
Perfect.
So once we become members and sign up, then we can hopefully get it reimbursed.
Did you sign up?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. So
The whole
hopefully, yeah.
The whole
Because
process.
It was so much money.
was
Oh,
You want to talk about it?
dang.
dude, it was. Should I just say it?
Yeah.
Dude, to get towed from Santa Ana, like Irvine, Santa Ana, to here, Colton, it was like $700, like a little over $700.
Which should have only been like, it should have been like maybe 250.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. 700 is steep.
Yeah.
I think they just didn't want to do it. They probably just didn't want to.
It's just fair. It's a
That's
Sunday.
Yeah.
And it's closed. And so, that's the other thing that we were talking about. My girlfriend was getting really frustrated with the tow people and stuff. And it was also just frustrating on top of the fact, like, they told us, like, with everything, it'll come out to like I think they said like $540 was the quote. And that was the first quote we got. So we were like, what? We're like, $540. I like hit up Mike, like, hey, is this normal? Does this sound right to you? You're like, no.
I was like, fuck no, that's so much money.
And so then we like called around, and everywhere we called, and I think it's because also it was the weekend, but everywhere we called, like, it was around $600, like, to do it. So like, oh, let's go back to that first place. So we called them, and then we're like, hey, yeah, we'll go with you guys or whatever. And they're like, okay, cool, we'll just send you the paperwork. And then like we get the, paperwork, and then it comes down like, oh yeah, so it's gonna be $7 something. And we're like,
How did it go from 540 to 700 something?
he did he's like, what they didn't tell us was until we said like let's do it, was there was like the rate of what it is, and then I think it's like just the truck rate to like get it up on a truck or get it towed on a truck,
And then per month.
it's like $75 on top of $12 a mile or something like that, or $12 every, I forget.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
If they weren't gonna do the reimbursement thing with you, I probably would have had to like get on my bike and ride out and then call AAA with mine and then have them, because they can't just use my AAA if I'm not there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And had it been like a weekday, then we could have just signed up for AAA.
Yeah.
And then-
and been
just
fine.
Kick it here till tomorrow
Yeah.
morning. We'll do
Yep.
all this tomorrow on Monday.
The van has a bed you could just lay down in the back.
There.
So it was in Santa Ana. It was like right, kind of a border of Irvine, Santa Ana, and like we were in front of like a Firestone place, and we were like asking if they could if we go through the next day, if we can put the van in the garages, and they're like, no, we don't do overnight, and we're like, okay. We're like, will we get towed here? He's like, you don't want to be here overnight.
Yeah.
He's like, you don't want to be here overnight.
Mm-mm.
So we're like,
Okay.
so that was also the urgency to get it towed.
Yeah, makes sense.
But it was
That just sucks.
Yeah.
A lot.
So.
So all your cars are messed up.
Yeah. The only thing so far, like knock on wood, is my bike. That's just in good condition. So,
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Reliable bike.
Yep. I do need new tires.
Right.
But yeah. Other than that, I'm good. Chilling.
Okay.
Can't complain.
All right.
Jasmine, where are you at?
Mental health check. I just got out of a funk. So I'm thriving now.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm great. I'm doing good. I feel good. I feel like I am getting closer to feeling in alignment with myself. I wasn't expecting that. You know how it goes, kind of catches you off guard. So I'm doing good now. I'm doing good. Getting back into a routine between my kids, like my foster kids, and my own like wellness, balancing all the life things and the podcast stuff. So I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Do you have foster kids, or are you talking about the kids you work with?
Sorry, when I say my kids, I don't have kids. It's my foster kids,
Okay.
my youth, my
My youths.
yeah, exactly. But I'm not gonna say my clients. They're just
Yeah, that's weird.
they piss me off, and I really care about them, so I just call them my kids. You know, yeah.
And what are some of like your go-to like coping mechanisms, or what are things that kind of get you right?
Yeah, well, what I had to do to get out of this last one was first to like really be in it and just fully commit to being in it, because I think our natural response when we're feeling some type of way, whatever it is, angry or low or, you know, all the negative feelings, I think our initial response is like, why am I feeling this way if we don't already know? And it's like, I had to get okay with, it doesn't really matter why, you know, this is where I'm at right now. So I'm kind of just going to be here right now. So I kind of rode that and sat in like the sadness and the just negative feelings, cried it out, hung out there for a little while. And then I was like, all right, since I'm here right now, this goes like one of two ways. If I sit in it too long, it'll just get darker, you know, or I can kind of try and do something about it. So I think this last time, because I just wasn't expecting that, I was like, okay, where's the line for me here? Because I don't want to dismiss what I'm feeling and kind of like try and get out of it, but I also don't want to dwell in it. So I did my best, and once I had sat in it, then I spent some time outside. I walked with some friends that I really love and I know love me, and so spending time around people that I love and love me outside, that's usually like a really big one for me, because I'm able to connect with my people. I'm also able to connect with the nature and universe around me, and so that brings me like peace and healing. After that, I think I got angry, so I kind of just cursed a lot in the car.
Nice.
Let it out, and then listened to some music that grounds me. So there's a bunch of things, but that's what did it for me this last time.
What's your angry music? I'm curious, because I feel like it's completely different from what our angry music would be.
Well, let me clarify. I said I cursed a lot in the car. And then I listen to music that grounds me. So I was just angry, yelling in silence.
That makes that so much better.
Sick.
It was just going off. Yeah, I was literally talking to myself and or God, and so it's just screaming, just yelling, dead silence. Yeah, if you were to look over at me, if you're the person to my left, you're like, ooh, don't know how, you know, it's
She's going through it right now.
She's going through it. She's going through it. I mean, cool thing is, from the outside, it looks like you're on the phone, so it looks like you're pissed, you know. It's just me. So there was no music playing. Yeah, and when I'm angry, I don't think I like to listen to. When I'm angry, I don't really listen to a lot of music when I'm angry. I think the last time I could relate to a song while I was angry was probably Pride is the Devil by J. Cole.
Okay.
It was relating to a circumstance, and I was just, you know, like, yeah.
Nice. Arguably one of my favorite rappers.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Truly.
I do have, before we move on, I have a question, I guess, for both of you, because both of you have studied, and both of you are, I would assume, like more aware of your feelings and coping mechanisms than like me or Jesse, right? Well, I was, you know,
He's like, actually,
us two dummies over here, the stupids on the left side of the room. So when you guys are, let's say, having those moments where things are like emotional or things are like heavy, right? Do you ever get in your own head where you're like, oh, you need to stop that shit? Or is it like, okay, I'm just going to feel this just like I normally would, and then I'm going to deal with it? Or are you like analyzing your own self, saying like, why the fuck are you doing this so long? What the hell is happening? Blah, blah, blah.
So I kind of joked about this, but it's like, it is true. Like my inner voice, I kind of feel like I have, it's like, I don't know if it's because I grew up in the 90s, but like I shit talk myself like into doing stuff. Like, you know, and I like to think that, or like, I would never speak to anyone else this way. and I've gotten a little bit better on like how, like, you know, things I'd say to myself, but like for the most part, it like motivates me to do something or get out, or like, even if I am like being like kind of mean in my own head, it's usually kind of like guiding me or like pushing me to be like, why do you feel like this then?
Yeah. Or
like, why is this bothering you so much? Like that, like for me, that's a big one. Why do you care about this so much? Why is this bothering you?
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. I guess it's me.
First thing, that's so real. And actually, on the Souly Human Podcast, at the end, I try and say, please be empathetic with yourself this week, because I would say most of the time we would never talk to someone we love the way we talk to ourselves.
True.
For that reason.
Facts.
For that reason. So that's really real. The inner, I feel like we're the meanest to ourselves sometimes. So I think that everything you said, all of it, I do all of it. I think as a therapist, I've talked with adults on how to work through their stuff, and I've talked with kids on how to work through their stuff. And then it's like, I made a video about this recently because it's like a bunch of different things in my head at the same time, right? So I'm like, one, there's the version of me that has done a lot of healing, and so I'm trying to be nicer to myself. So I'm like, Jasmin, this is normal. It's okay. You're allowed to feel this. You're allowed to feel that. And then there's the other part of me that I had to grow out of, which is like, shut the fuck up. Like, it's not that fucking serious. You didn't have to do all that, and it's not this, and you don't need to be responding this way. Just drop it and move on.
Yeah, relax, Naomi.
Yeah,
Shit.
relax, chill out. And then there's the therapist, which is like, Jasmin, if you trace back your thoughts, you'll be able to understand why you're feeling this way, and then you can respond differently. And then he goes through like a whole cycle. So all of it, any of it, sometimes none of it.
It's almost like worse because you're like, in a way you know better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You definitely, I'm definitely aware, I would say a lot of the time, but sometimes that's worse because there's a name for that. We call it,
Yeah, that's usually what I call it too.
I don't remember the term, but instead of like experiencing things, you're conceptualizing things. So because I'm aware of it, I'm like analyzing this and I'm going through the analysis process. And so I'm having an understanding, but I'm not actually feeling.
You're not feeling what you need to feel.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
And so the awareness, you could play yourself really easily because you think being aware of something means you're good and you can move on, but it's not the awareness of something that makes it that does the healing or helps you experience it. It's just experiencing it. So it's kind of like the why doesn't matter, and it's kind of the how and when doesn't matter. It's the fact that I'm currently experiencing this, and then that's okay, and that's it. And I think as adults, it's hard when we can't rationalize something, right? We feel the need in order for something to make sense to us, then it becomes easier to kind of just be in it. But even then, it's like, that's where the awareness will get you. And so I've seen a lot of videos and read stuff where it's like, in therapy, some of the clients that have the most difficulty are those that are like hyper aware of everything because they just have difficulty with the somatic part, the feeling part.
I feel like that's me.
It's possible.
It's probably me.
It's possible. It's me as well. Yeah.
Damn.
For the viewers, not me. What's conceptualizing?
Conceptualizing, and I'm using it to replace another word, which I'm so frustrated I can't remember. But conceptualizing is kind of like you are looking at something and you're trying to understand it. And so once you understand it, actually, that's it. Conceptualizing is like trying to understand. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah. Michael?
I'm not trying to, I know this is going to sound bad, but I used to do this when I'd read lyrics for other bands, but the other round, going into a dictionary and looking up what something is, like if you don't understand, because I felt one of my best friend growing up was Ryan Sievers, who was one of the smartest dudes ever, and he'd say shit, and I'm like, what the fuck was that? And like I'd have to like remember it, and then like either go ask someone or like look it up on my own. But I used to read lyrics with like a dictionary.
Have you ever dumbed your lyrics down?
Have I ever dumbed my lyrics down?
Like, have you ever changed something that you've written because you knew people would grasp it if you...
Is Rick asking you this?
Huh?
Did Rick ask you to ask me this?
No.
I don't know. Like, what do you mean? Like
make it easier for the listener to understand.
I guess maybe.
I definitely have. I'll admit it.
Dumb down. I almost feel like it'd be opposite. Like I'm trying to like I want a different word, a cooler word.
So that's the thing. I normally try and go for like the cooler or bigger words, and then while writing it, I'll go, they're not gonna know what this is.
We just have Jesse read our lyrics.
Jesse's gonna ask me what conceptualizing is. Where are you at, Michael?
Mentally, I was doing pretty well. Yesterday was kind of a bummer of a day, but actually, you know what? For as bad as it was,
could have been way worse.
Could have been way worse, and I kept trying to tell myself that, and I kept trying to like, and Jordan would do it too. We both kind of be like, it's good that if it's gonna happen, that it's happening now. Mm-hmm. Not on the way to something, not in the middle of something. This was literally at the end of this awesome weekend that we had. And so anyway, so yeah, in a way I get, it wasn't too bad. I mean, there are worse things than being stranded with your girlfriend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we made the best of it. But mentally I feel like it was good. I feel like this was, I mention all the time, singing for me is one of my greatest like coping mechanisms. It makes me feel good. Exercising is good. I got to do that this week. And just just being around, seeing the NBR guys coming out, being around my little group. For anyone who doesn't know, like, I know it sounds insane, but like, I get like social anxiety. I don't like crowds.
Me neither.
And we were in it, on Saturday, huge ass crowd. But it just felt. I feel like this weekend was really good as far as like for my soul, in the sense of feeling that purpose of what our band does and how it helps, and having people share their stories or kind of like being with someone as they struggle. It was just nice, and I feel so grateful that I get to do that, and I don't know, made me appreciate the opportunity even more, which is like an insane opportunity that we got in the first place.
That's awesome.
There were some OG fans in the crowd for that show. I would have people come up to me at the table and be like, "I've been watching. We're from Moreno Valley. Like, I've been watching these dudes for, 10 years."
Yeah, we don't have to say the years.
Wow.
Cool.
We were like,
We don't have to say the years.
This one dude came up with like a walker with like a tennis ball, and he's like, "I've been listening to this band since 1983." And I was like, "Sick, dude."
He's like, me and Micah boys.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
But yeah, it was cool. It was, and being in a show like that, just one, Soma is such a cool venue. Mm-hmm. I'm really stoked that the merch table ended up, like, us and Gideon ended up inside.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to like run from the lobby to watch people play. But yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good experience. It was, yeah. So last week was good. Even like the the little stresses that, you know, kind of put on yourself to like make sure, you know, things are going well, like picking up the guys and, you know, figuring out, you know, working out the van with you and all those things.
Posters. I got rid of the posters. I got rid of all the posters.
Oh no, Mike. So we have like for when they came out, when our album that came out in 2012, our label made us these big ass posters. Awesome. So cool. When the album came out, so rad. We got rid of a bunch of them, but we also kept a ton of them. And our label just kind of was like cleaning out shop, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna send you some of the older stuff that, you know, that we still have." I'm like, "All right, cool." And one of the things was these big ass posters, which is cool, but also it's like, dude, nobody wants these old. Nobody wants these, man.
Also, there's only 2 of you still left in the band.
Yeah, there's like,
Poster, yeah.
That's important.
Yeah, so, and then the first
3 of you, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, and so, back in April, you know, we played like our first like headliner back, you know, in Anaheim. It was like a big deal for us, and so of course I leave the posters at my house as I'm already at the venue. So I had to call Mike. Hey, Mike.
Damn.
Hey, I was like, hey man, did you already leave? He was like, no, we're about to leave right now. I was like, all right, dope. Dude, you don't have to, but if you, by chance, you're able to stop by the house and pick up these posters, we forgot them. He's like, oh yeah, I'll stop by. No big deal. They're so massive. They're so big,
Really?
and they're so heavy.
They're like this big.
They're this size.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, they're huge.
In a box, and there's a lot of them. And the box was like not very
Closed.
strong, and so it like broke on him, and so they're just like such a hassle. They're such a hassle. And so Mike, when you brought him to the venue, he's walking to the venue, and the box broke, and they just fell out on the ground.
Damn.
Yeah.
Right in front of the venue, right in front of everyone.
Right in front of everybody.
Oh, wow.
People were calling him a nerd.
Yeah.
They were making fun of him.
Loser.
Yeah.
I was like, cool.
That sucks. They sound really annoying.
Yeah. So anyways, that was back in April.
Back in April.
And then we go to the show on Saturday, and Mike texts me, hey, have you left yet? I was like, no. He's like, can you get those posters? They're in my car. Fuck.
That last time was in April?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I get the posters, I get to the show, and I was like, guys, I'm going to give these out for free. So I was just handing posters to people. Hey, you know, take this. And what I would do, I told them, you guys have a free poster. All that we ask is that you roll it up, and then you use it as a sword in the pit. So like you're in the pit, hit somebody, and I was like, and if it breaks, and if the poster messes up, come back, I'll give you another one.
Dude, that's awesome. I love that.
And so we were just
I love that too.
poster.
Dude.
That's pretty cool.
Or I would like pull some bullshit. Like, if you buy a shirt, I'll give you a free poster. Just anything to just push.
Get them out.
Dude, I was thinking how just ridiculous it would be if it's like you get a phone call from Selma. Hey, we found your posters. We're gonna go ahead and send them back to you.
Oh my god. No. We found this box of like 700 posters in one of our trash cans. It was folded in half.
Keep them.
They're for you guys. Just use them as wallpaper.
I was about to say that size. Yeah, a few of them got a whole wall.
Those things have only even at that Change show in April, they were helpful for the same reason they were helpful at this, where it's like we just cut them up to like use them for like paper writer set lists,
yeah,
to write prices on,
they're accounting on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, I'm good. I feel like I'm doing well. I feel like I don't know. I feel like I gotta stay on. I gotta stay on top of my running stuff, especially for this coming Thanksgiving.
Same.
Oh, dude, things gonna drop on Black Friday.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know you guys were runners.
We use the term loosely.
More like more like enthusiastic joggers
Yeah.
for
Okay.
distance.
Power walking.
Jump rope.
Okay.
Actually, I consider myself more of a jump roper now.
First off, if you take a step back, do we look like runners?
Yeah. That's why I'm so surprised. Wow, you guys are striking me as runners at all.
Your bodies
at all.
move?
At all. I don't think you guys have ever ran at all.
Whoa, putting words in my mouth. Okay.
You said it with your eyes. We saw it.
Well, anyway.
She's like, you guys run. Both of you.
She held back the laugh.
Yeah.
I did not say it like that.
That is so interesting.
Stop. Stop.
I didn't know we were on a show with liars.
Yeah. She's like, we have more to unpack here.
I can't. Moving on. I was jump roping yesterday, so it's funny that you say that.
Dude, I love jump rope.
2-3 minutes, and it's great cardio.
Yep.
I do it to avoid running, so
It's like the best overall body workout cardio that you can do.
I agree. I agree. So
I have my own ghetto circuit that I do. I'll jump rope for a minute, and then I'll do like kettlebell swings. Jump rope for a minute, and then I'll do like kettlebell squats. Jump rope for a minute, and then I'll do like, I don't know, dumbbell. It's like the most basic.
Hey,
but
it's
those
something.
are the ones that get you, to be
Yeah.
honest. People think you got to be super intricate about what you do in the gym or how you work out, when really, like, the basics will do it. It'll get you. So
Just move your body.
exactly,
counts.
exactly, yeah.
All right, so let's rewind now. Let's go back. So, you're saying that you work in essentially like a boys' home, right?
Yes.
Like you have your kids. What was it that made you decide this was the line of work that you wanted to go into? Did you have a coming to God moment where you're like, this is what I want to do, or was it just like, yeah, I'll help kids?
It wasn't either of those. I feel like anyone that starts with, yeah, I'll help kids, it's not gonna work out.
Yeah.
You can't go in it like that. It won't work out. But I feel like I think I always knew I wanted to be a social worker. I think that I just really wanted to connect with people in a way that was kind of like helping them.
Mhm.
Wasn't gonna be a doctor. Wasn't gonna be a nurse. That's not for me. I think that I loved just really learning about people and their families and listening to them. And so I found social work and, therapy because of social work. I just connecting with other people and trying to provide like a healing space, and then being able to like watch them grow through their stuff. That was what really made me want to do, therapy.
Nice.
That, and I just love to understand, why people do things. Social work is a little bit of everything, but psychology's in there.
Mm-hmm.
So being a therapist, I think, has just been because I'm able to help other people through things that have been really difficult for them, but help them help themselves. And so it's just really a special thing when you're able to do that with someone, not for someone, but with someone. So, that's been the therapist journey for me. But for the kids specifically, the first year I was doing foster therapy with foster kids outpatient. So like they were in foster homes. And then the second year I was doing therapy for the justice involved. So people that were like in and out of jail or prison and trying to, reintegrate back into the community and work through their things. And now this third year has been with foster youth in a group home. I just have such empathy for these kids. They're probably some of the strongest humans that I really encounter, and I have such a love for them. And I think that having that empathy for them is what keeps me motivated with them. So it's a very special thing. They're also hilarious.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Kids are wild.
Kids are wild. They're also brutal.
Yes.
Brutal.
Yep.
So I think I'm never bored. I will say that. I'm never bored. If I'm on shift, I'm always something, but it's not bored. So that's why I've been with the boys. Yeah.
Nice. And is there like a specific, I guess, like area of therapy that you eventually want to go into, or is there something that you want to specialize in, or?
Such a big question.
Well, that's what the show is. We have.
I see.
We take our hoodies off and we actually have ties on it. Very professional.
Oh man, I was just talking with my friend about this yesterday. So when you tell people that you're gonna take your exam soon and that you're gonna be a licensed clinical social worker, they're like, what's next? I'm like, leave me alone.
They're like, this test is next.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's it.
Just
Don't worry
test.
about it. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So I don't know. I also teach a class at the university for the social work department.
Really?
Cool.
Yeah. Last spring quarter was my first quarter.
Where did you?
I taught individuals. Yes.
That's cool.
So cool. So cool. And so in winter, I'm teaching mental health, the elective. And then in spring, I'm teaching individuals again. So.
Isn't everybody an individual when they come into the classroom?
Yes, but not all of them know how to work with an individual.
There you go.
We do the basics, they're learning active listening and empathetic response. And so just how to talk with someone.
Dude, that.
We look at Jesse.
I know. Well, no, because he asked. I mean, we've talked about like active listening and things like that.
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, dude, I'm saying for me too. I literally learned so much in that class. Like, because we're not in our everyday. We're not like looking for that,
right.
or like, am I being a good listener? Am I?
Yeah.
So that class I loved it.
And when you're working like with clients, it's really important because nothing is worse than having a therapist that does many things, but one of them being like their own trauma dumping. Like, oh, you know what? I lived in a house once, and in that house, and then, or I had a mom and so just taking any little tiny thing, right? And then it's like all about them. Can't have that, and not even like therapy aside, just being a social worker, learning to be aware of those things because you're just not paying attention when you're with your friends or with your family and stuff. So, to answer your question, I have no idea. I have no idea. I have a very broad vision, and it's just that I really want to create something for providers, for mental health providers, like some form of community and or some type of like modality for us to be using. So I don't know.
So is that what the podcast came out of?
The podcast, yes and no, because I'm hoping that the podcast is a way to utilize that, to push that, to start that. So the podcast came from that, like, I truly love having conversations with friends, family, where you're reflecting and you're growing together and you're kind of connecting over things that other people are likely thinking and you don't know it, and when you hear it and you're like, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. And so that's where the podcast came from, and it's a lot of like mental health stuff and spirituality stuff and relationship stuff that I think if I had heard, I would just feel really validated and really seen, you know. So that's where it came from. It's all gonna come together. I don't know how or when, but I know that it will. So that's where it's at right now. Yeah. So right now I just need to pass this test.
Yeah, so just the test.
When is the test?
The test is likely at the end of January. I'm manifesting that because the Board of Behavioral, the BBS hasn't even gotten back to me yet. They take like 4 to 5 months to tell you that you can take it, and then once you know that, then you can schedule it. But based on my friends, they're on like a 4-month timeline, and then usually you can schedule that month or the next month. So it's looking like January. Yeah, based on my submission date of the application. So God willing, that's what'll happen.
Dude.
Yeah.
It's exciting though.
It is. Yeah, I'm really excited.
Like I did oh my gosh, what's it called? Like basically our form of like our exit exam, the comps.
Yeah.
And for the panel.
Yeah.
When I when I finished it, that was like I think the first time I've ever cried after something, like being happy cried.
Yeah.
For school.
You sure about that, Mike?
Mike is looking at me like, first time you cried, huh? Really? Like, for feeling accomplished with something in school.
Because it's a whole process. Yeah. You take each one of those exams and then you do the oral exam and it's like, finally. So, yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah.
Yeah, tests. Right, Jesse? Exams.
What are exams?
Yeah, what are those?
Yeah. Audiobooks and Quizlet, or what? Help me graduate.
I forget I think we flew to Arizona, and Mike and I were having a conversation about like audiobooks and stuff, and then that's when I realized that Mike listens to podcasts and audiobooks and things like that at like double speed. And I was like, huh. I was like, do you actually absorb what you're getting? And he's like, yeah, dude. That's what got me through school. Like,
okay. Right. I have yet to try it, and I think I should try it. I feel like that would help. Could you give us like a verbal demo of what a double speed sounds like?
I'll just show you. It's probably already set right now to my...
Do you listen to this podcast? Like at double speed?
If I'm in, yeah. To get through it to 5 spots.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to. I can't listen to. The only thing I can't do double speed obviously is like music.
Right.
Right. Anything else, I have. So
that might really help because I have trouble reading. I have ADHD. Reading is difficult, and I'm trying audiobooks, and it helps a little bit, but not a lot. So I'm wondering if double speed would help because then I'm like focus.
What if you're very interested in what you're reading? Does it make a difference?
It does sometimes. It does help. I also
stars of the TV series WandaVision had to adjust to many challenges during filming. Perhaps none greater than strapping into a harness
so
they can act high above the ground. I don't know. What do you look like when you fly? Series star Catherine Hahn asked. There are so many things happening off camera that are just bananas. You can't imagine what's going on with all that ruckus. As if I didn't have enough mad respect for Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany before this.
That's kind of crazy, but I could...
Talking about WandaVision and...
Yeah.
Like, you do it enough, and it just becomes... The way I kind of relate it is, one, it helped me get through things faster. And for me, when I first started applying it for things like that I wanted to like learn about, like say conspiracies, we'll just say conspiracies, or like I used to like try to look for like lectures on like speeches about like suicide or mental health or depression. This was before I was in school. And so there'd be these long like 3-hour lectures that I'd find.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, dude, I can't sit through this.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to see if I can just like see what the first 5 minutes is. And that way I can get a feeling if there's something I want to keep listening to. Yeah. And so that's how I would like start. And then I feel like I would learn to be like, okay, I'm getting an understanding. Maybe I'm not picking up everything. And then I would go back if I didn't feel like I got everything. Like I feel like if nothing else, it gives me a general. If I listen to something first, it gives me a general. And like, then I can go back and either read it or listen to it at normal speed. But usually I find that if I go through it once and maybe I don't catch it, I go through it again the second time and I have it.
I'm going to try that. I feel like that might help, to be honest. It sounds wild, but I can see I can see how your brain just like, adjusts and it just keeps moving.
Well, it's just like for screaming. Like when people hear screaming, at first you're like, it just sounds like noise. But then when you've been around it enough, then you can like, oh, I can kind of hear what he's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have that skill yet. Yeah. I saw Willow for the first time, and I didn't know that she does screamo.
Yeah.
That she has. So, but she would just switch to like some of her songs, it's more of like a melodious, and I'm like, yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, Willow Smith.
Well, you thought the little guy? The little guy?
Oh, no. Willow Smith. And I was like, wow, like he's so talented. Because to be able to do that, that's a trip. So, yeah, it's not my typical genre, but I was really impressed by her. That was cool.
Sick.
I hear a lot of screaming at my job all of the time, and they are saying nothing all of the time.
It's kind of us
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
The left side.
The left side.
Yeah, double speed. I tried to do because I'm on Spotify. You can go. Spotify for audio stuff. You can go 3 times, like the triple, and that is like
That seems like a lot.
It's crazy.
Like to me, I feel like I get it. I would absorb it, right? Totally fine with that aspect of it, but I feel like then you lose all the like theatricality of everything, right?
I can understand why in school though you're like, I do not care for the theatricality, but like to read a book now, I could see both.
But see, in a way, for me, like, so I like taking emotion out of things that I'm learning, if that makes sense.
So you don't do that for like, if you're like, it's like a book that you wanted to read, like a novel or something like that. You don't do double speed.
No, I do. Like now I do.
Yeah.
Because you're just accustomed
Do any of your novels have like dirty scenes that you listen to in double speed?
to double
No.
speed.
No.
Jesus.
Like
That's funny.
no.
I just thought about it.
No, like I feel like when I first got into audiobooks and I discovered I could do that,
Yeah.
then I would probably do it like 1.5 or something, or like just a little bit faster.
Just to get through it.
Yeah, there's some things, and it also depends too, like on the person that you're listening to. Like there's some like podcasts that I like, depending on the guest, I'm like I don't know what they're saying.
Yeah.
Like if they have an accent or something. So.
Oh, true.
But that literally helped me go. That like being able to get all my textbooks as audiobooks, or not audiobooks, but just as ebooks, and they usually would have the feature for audio, and then
The
I could
text
speed it
reading.
up. Yeah.
Oh.
And so then that for me, that was nice because that would give me a quick overall general feel of what a chapter would be. And then I could go through and be like, okay, I remember that being here, so I'm going to go, I can read this as I'm going through. And it's just nice too, like I'm driving, so like I can study while I'm driving technically.
Yeah.
So I'm just listening.
I've been doing that because I started studying for my exams, so I've been listening to the audio recordings as part of a program while I'm driving. That kind of helps me stay focused sometimes.
Nice.
Yeah.
So actually, before I started doing, that I could even get my books as ebooks. My first year, last year, I think maybe, or the first couple months, I would read the chapters. I would record myself reading the chapters. That way I could listen to it later and speed it up.
That's dedication. You'll absorb it, I'm sure, way better.
Yeah. And then my classmates like, why don't you just get an ebook? I was just like, what is that?
You're like, what is that? What does that mean?
I don't know why I just didn't think that like those big ass textbooks would be ebooks. Like you can get them also as an ebook.
Yeah.
But they're like, oh, they're more expensive. I was like, dude, I don't give a fuck.
Oh, shit.
My Jasmin, any of my professors, like I was like struggling at first. Yeah, it was rough. And then like once I like figured that out, my grades like changed overnight.
That's, I mean, it's crazy to go back to school when you don't know how to read, you know?
Yeah.
It's a
That's basically what all this comes down to. I don't read good.
If you're not a good reader, you're kind of screwed. You got to figure out something that works for you for sure. It's just too much reading.
It's a lot.
Too much reading. I did not read everything. Even after that, like in my graduate program, I did not read everything. There's no way. It's too much of it. Just read this title here, look for some bold stuff, and skim the rest. Cause no way.
Yeah, and it's just I feel like even if I try to read fast, which I don't, but if I'm trying to read fast, I don't feel like I'm getting everything, and I feel like I'm stressed, as opposed to I'm just like listening, I can be relaxed, and I feel like I just take it in and absorb it more.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Well, we wanna jump into this playlist, add a song, and get some food.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Mike, what do you want to add to the playlist this week?
I have a song. Let me just make sure I'm getting the name of the artist correctly. The artist is Dean Summerwind.
Okay.
And it's this beautiful song called "Parked Out by the Lake."
Okay. Nice. The song that's been covered
for any of our listeners, and we'll know. But tell us if you listen to this song, or if you've heard it before, because we'll know if you have or if you haven't.
There's a few artists that have sang this song over the years.
Are there?
Yeah.
I haven't heard it.
There's this Dean Summerwind guy. There's a Donnie Cowboy. This is like a country song that has been covered by multiple people over the years, just because it's so awesome.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's a great song.
It's a beautiful song.
Oh, Dave Matthew covered it, you know.
What about you? What do you want to add to this?
There's a lot of good options. I think we're going to go with Shadow Man by No Name.
All right.
What kind of genre or what kind of artist is it?
She's a rapper. Is she considered poetic rap? She's a rapper. Chill energy.
Kind of vibey.
Yeah.
I'm going to go opposite of that. I'm going to go super heavy.
Okay.
Only because we were laughing about this song this weekend. I'm going to add a Kubla Khan song into this called Ant Pile. Because it has 3 words in the whole song.
That's funny. All right.
Yeah. It's like shit and son of a bitch. Yeah. That's all they say in the whole song. Yeah. It's like an intro track, but it's just so heavy.
That's dope.
Sick. Well, you want to plug your podcast? Want to plug some socials?
Yeah, absolutely. Check out the Souly Human Podcast. Which camera do I look at? That one?
The middle one, yeah.
Check out the Souly Human Podcast. We talk about mental health too, spirituality. But guys, kind of crucial. It's not solely human. It's solely human. You know?
SOULY.
Thank you. Exactly. And then human. So we're on Instagram and on Spotify, YouTube, all of that. But thank you guys so much for having me here.
Thank you. I feel like we could have talked about so much more. We just went on so many. We were cars and we took so many turns. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what we did. Hey, you know where to find me. It's all good. But yeah, I'm happy to have hung out with you guys.
Yeah, that was cool.
Appreciate it.
For us, at Walking Blind Pod, everywhere, walkingblindpod@gmail.com. Mike has a little message about liking, commenting, and subscribing.
Yeah, if you want to support the podcast, go for it. Yeah, go for it.
If you like the podcast, tune in, like and subscribe the video, subscribe to the podcast. They're here every week talking about cool stuff, checking in on each other, on the homies, talking about fun things. So like and subscribe. How was that?
Fuck, Mike, she's better than you.
Yeah, dude. What the fuck?
We love you guys. Peace.
See ya.